So even though I've started riding him, I always start a little bit from the ground just to practice his patience and him being sensitive and paying attention to what I'm doing and where I'm guiding him. He just wanted to smell the fence a little bit. It's okay. So I like to start with walking quite slowly because he usually wants to walk with quite some energy. So I want to show him that he needs to be patient. So I just check first that he's okay walking slow. And then I'll go faster, and pretty much the goal is just for him to follow the same speed that I'm going. So if I stretch my hand even more and make the sound for trot, I would like him to trot next to me. And I'll usually guide them on a circle like this. And then we relax when we come here, back to the fence, back to the wall. And I like to check if I can go from kind of like a trot to then a slow walk again. If he's trying to pass me, I'm going to wave this rope in front of him. Okay, I'll try again. I'll just speed up a little bit. And then see if I can relax a little bit as well. Good. One more circle in the trot. Good. And relax. And I'm all the time being aware that he's not coming into my space because he's kind of pushy. Nope. A little bit faster. And slow. So you see here, he's kind of too much in front. There you go. And I'm becoming a little bit more assertive with this because we have practiced this for quite some time now. And he's still all the time trying to push a little bit. And this is not just related to walking with him. It's related to everything, you know? If he thinks that he can get away with pushing here, he's going to think that he can get away with it anywhere. So I just try to be very clear with the rules and the boundaries. And he needs to learn not to push. Especially with these huge horses. It's not fun when they step on you and push you. You know, they're really heavy and really big. So it's important that they learn to be sensitive and friendly. So now I'm just going to turn in here and see if he can move those hind legs a little bit. Good. And then the front legs, which is not his favorite, but he's getting a little bit better. Good. Good. Good boy. Pretty good. So when I'm turning the front end over, it's important that the shoulder is actually moving as well. So I would like the shoulder and the right front leg to step over and turn. Yes, good boy. Now we're just going to quickly... So each time he's kind of pushing a little bit, he needs to back up. Yeah, good. And we're just going to check a little bit on this side as well. I don't spend too much time practicing this because he's getting pretty good at it. Jeg kan. Ja, jeg filmer han I dag, så jeg må fortelle hva jeg gjør. So here I'm just going to check if I can go slow. He's a little bit in front, so I'm going to wave him back, making him a little bit more aware. So I'm not going to continue if he's not doing a good job and paying attention. So still here, he just really wants to push ahead. So if he's not listening to just the energy, I might touch him with the rope as well. I don't want to have to give him a million corrections. So if I feel like I have to tell him again and again and again to back up, my energy will become a lot more strong and more assertive, because I don't want to have to constantly have to tell him to pay attention. At least not at this stage, you know? And he may not always be too happy to be told what to do. So I feel with him, he's kind of like a giant baby. Slow. And it's funny, when I'm at the ground with him, he's a lot more pushy than he is from horseback. So when I'm riding him, he's also a lot more lazy. While here on the ground, he's a little bit more, like he's got a little bit more attitude. And I think the reason for that is that he's been handled. He's learned that from the ground he can probably get away with being pushy. You know, it's kind of the reason he is here, because he's been pushy. They want him to be a little bit more sensitive, and they want him to learn to be polite and not push people. And also, yeah, some things from horseback as well. So now we're just going to check if he can move the hind legs, paying attention, focus, turn, turn, good boy. And then the front, don't push. Like here again, he's ahead. I would like him next to me, not ahead of me. Good. I'm going to turn, face him. And now his left front needs to step over to the right. It's a little bit too much just going forward and not too much to the side. And this exercise has been really kind of a challenge for him. Not too bad, but still a little much too forward. Yeah. Focus. Good. And step behind. So you can tell that I'm taking my time with this, because I want him to do a proper job with this and not just kind of do it halfways. Better try. Better try. That's better. Okay, boy, I'm gonna get this. Okay, pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so another thing they would like for him to learn is to engage his back a little bit more. He doesn't have any muscle in his back area, so I've been teaching him how to stretch. So I first do this from the ground, and now because we have practiced a bit, he's able, you can tell he's searching for the stretch all the time. Bra! Bra! So now I'm asking him for at least one circle before he gets his treats. But in the beginning, I might just do it standing still, and then do it one step when he's walking, one step, then 2 steps, 3 steps. You build on it. Good boy. And now I'm just doing a little bit just to remind him from the ground first before I get on, in the walk, and just a little bit in the trot as well. Bra! And because he's just learning this, I'm not expecting him to do it for very long, just a little bit. And I want to reward quite fast, because I want to keep him motivated to actually do this, because I'm 100% dependent on him offering me this exercise. You know, I can't make him do this. He needs to offer it and take initiative to actually do this on his own, which is why it's important to reward quite fast. Bra, 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 flinken. Good. Good boy. Good boy. Bra. And of course, now it's just about teaching him the stretch. But to get a really good engagement of the top line, he would need to add some energy into this, like a really kind of extended walk or an extended trot. But the first step is, for him to learn that he needs to stretch down. It's a little bit close. Bra, flinken. So once you get kind of an extended walk or an extended trot, they will have to take longer steps. And that's when their top line starts to be a lot more active when it comes to the engagement. But even standing still, when he is stretching down, you can clearly see that the back is coming up. So just this movement in itself is going to help him. Good boy. The last thing I like to check from the ground is just the backing up a little bit with the head down. And I want this to be super soft and sensitive. My goal with all the training is that I don't want to use a lot of energy. I want everything to be super light and comfortable. So no heaviness, just lightness. So I'm just practicing a little bit here, just grabbing the rope with 2 fingers. Good, good. And I want him to back up and search down at the same time without me needing to use a lot of energy doing that, And he's getting pretty good. You're getting pretty good, my friend. Good boy. Okay. Yeah. And he's also getting quite eager to kind of do the exercises. Like especially now when I want him to just stand still, he's like ready to just continue the stretching and offer up everything that he's learned. So he likes this a lot better than walking next to me, being patient. It's a little bit more challenging, the patience stuff. Walking slow, all the time being aware. That's a little bit more difficult for him. But even though he's 5, I think maybe these huge horses like him might age a little bit slower. So he is 5, but I feel like he's just like a 2-year-old, like mentally. He's very playful and impatient. He's just like a giant child, I feel. I really feel that with him. So that's why I think it's difficult to be patient and, be very polite and do everything really perfectly and calmly. Because he's just got that playful mind. And he likes to show off everything that he is good at. It's also typical children. They want to show you everything, Look at this, watch me, watch me, watch me. So once he has learned something, he wants to do that because he knows that it's the right thing to do and he will get rewarded for it. I think I'm just gonna, can you stand still, buddy? Buddy boy? Just gonna check if I can get on him without the saddle sliding because I didn't really tighten it that well. So, yeah, it's fine. So this is the saddle pad that they sent with him. I think they gave me like the option of Western saddle or this pad, but I love these saddle pads. They're so comfortable and you can really feel the horse, and they have really thick padding. So they will give you great support and give the horse really good support as well. So I really like this. So my goal is for him to learn to stretch when he's walking around, be able to bend around the inside leg and do a leg yield. Now the thing is that if the horse can do a leg yield, it will unlock so many things. It's like a huge fundament of the riding. Because once you can do a leg yield and the horse is understanding that they can bend around your inside leg, meaning that their body will move one way and their focus another way. This is what you need to be able to kind of do more than just the complete basic stuff. So it's really important that the horse knows how to do a leg yield. So that is kind of the first thing I was teaching him, was to move his hind legs. So he understood the cue from my leg, move the hind legs. And then we started working on the leg yield. Yeah, and you have the stretch also. So now the cue is kind of for me when I'm riding him and I'm moving a little bit on the rein. Come on. I would like for him to stretch. Now he got just very unfocused here. Good. There you go. A little more. Yeah. And when he does it a little bit, I'll just give him some treats for that. You can take on this side now. I kind of lost my thought there a little bit, but what I was going to say is that when the horse knows leg yield, you can do everything else. You can bend around your inside leg, you can practice a shoulder in, you can practice the bending a lot more. And yeah, it's just like your key to kind of continue everything. So that is what I will do. I will ride around and I will ask him to stretch. And the cue for that is just me gently kind of moving the rein a little bit. And once he's stretching down, the reins will be loose. Yeah, but you gotta move. And then we've also started working on the bending around the inside leg. So if you walk a circle, I want him to bend in on that circle and not walk like a stiff, straight line around. So I really want him to look in and bend his neck in on that circle. Pretty good. And he's still kind of learning that. So right now he also needs to distinguish the difference of doing a leg yield and then bend around the inside leg. So when I'm doing a leg yield, I will move my inside leg backwards to push the hind. But when I'm bending around my inside leg, I'm just keeping my leg at the same place, like in this neutral position. But I'm just adding gently a little bit of pressure so I can use my reins to bend his head to the left and block his shoulder with my leg. He's getting the hang of it. Good. And then I don't want to do way too much before he gets rewarded. So now I'm just going to get him to stretch. Good. And still now you can tell we're walking quite slow. So this slow walk is not going to really engage. It's not going to help him engage that well. So that is what we're going to try to work on, getting more energy into this. But first he needs some confidence and he needs to learn exactly what he needs to do. Good boy. So we're just going to do one more round. And also because he's so big and kind of the first couple of sessions he was a little bit kind of stubborn. He didn't understand, especially learning the leg yield was a little bit, he felt a little bit frustrating. But I don't want to push him too much because it's important to keep them motivated, you know? It's really hard sometimes to learn something new. And especially if you feel like it's just too challenging, you feel like giving up. So that is not what we want to do with the horses. We want them to feel like they understand enough that it's kind of motivating, you know? And that they get rewarded. Come on. So now I'm trying to ask him to move a little bit faster, but you can tell he's pretty good at keeping the stretch. No, it's just my dog, so good boy. Good. And I can ask for a little bit more energy without him getting out of the stretch. So when I'm turning now, I'm riding him with my inside leg. And I will just block the shoulder if it's sliding out. But you can tell I want him to bend in on the circle and get nice and bendable. Good boy. So now we're just going to wait for him to stretch and maybe with a little bit faster energy. Good. Straight, straight. Bra. Give him some treats. And I will always only reward him when he is searching down. You know? So he knows that in order for him to get the treats, he will need to be in a moment of the searching down. So even if I wanted to reward him for maybe a circle down there, if he was out of the stretch, I would continue a little bit to get that stretch. The only exception is the leg yield, because it's so fresh. And he's been really trying as good as he can lately. I think he's really cute and he's really trying, so I'm just rewarding the good leg yield, if he's actually able to do a leg yield. So we're going to try that now. Coming down the central line, now we're going to go to the right. Good. Bra, so flinkigt. That was pretty good. So you can tell, like in the beginning of it, he was a little bit confused of which direction we were gonna go. But then he found his rhythm. So that was really nice. Good boy. And now, you know, in the beginning I would only do 1 step, reward, 2 step, reward. But now I'm trying to get him all the way to the wall. Yes, we're trying to go all the way to the wall. Good boy. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna continue, buddy. Buddy. Let's go. And also, like the first lessons, he would maybe try to take a little bit control of which direction we were gonna go. And like just suddenly turn or go in a different direction. And sometimes I still feel like he's kind of hinting at that a little bit. Also, like passing the gate. Now he's a little bit unsure because my dog is lying straight outside, but sometimes he would try to stop and just go out of the gate. So stuff like that is also getting a little bit better. Good. So he's stretching really good, but he's just walking so slow. So I'm just trying to get a kind of a little bit more speed here on the diagonal. Come on. But he kept his stretch all the way, so that's really nice. Good. And then we're going to start to work on the circles and the bending. And I like to do it on small circles first, because it's a lot easier to practice the bend and keep somewhat control of where they are going. Good. And the thing is just to keep his energy going, because he will stop quite often. Like here, he will just stop and lose the energy. So you have to really work on him keeping the energy. Continue to move. Bend. Bend. Good. Bend. Good boy. Bend. Good boy. Really good. And there he went into a stretch again after we finished the circle. I think that you deserve a treat for that. And I think the riding, the training we're doing now, it's a lot more thinking for him than he is accustomed to. So it's important to get these breaks, so he has the time to kind of reflect a little bit about what's happening, which is also good with stopping and giving the treats, because he gets a moment to kind of, okay, you know? And then we're going to continue a little bit here. And it's really, you can really feel the back raising up when he's coming down to the stretch. It's really nice. And of course, what's important as well is how you sit in the saddle. So now when I really want him to stretch, I send all my weight down in the stirrup. So I'm not really sitting on my ass that much. I'm trying to really sit up, almost like I'm ready to go up in the saddle, just to help him and encourage that stretch. So I'm trying to sit a little bit more up and not so much weight directly into my bum, into my ass, and just try to send my weight down on the stirrup so he will get a little bit more like space in the saddle area, a little bit more air, or kind of room to raise his back. And you can really feel the difference now when his head came up again, he lost that. And then we can tell when he's stretching down. It's better. Focus, he really lost the focus now when my dog started to run. Good, bra. There you go. There you can feel it again. And the moment he's kind of coming all the way down. I want to see if he can do a little bit better of a circle. Good. Felt he really lost the focus. Yeah, it's just my dog. Good boy. Better? And usually the sound I'm making all the time, I usually only use that for trot. Bra, bra. But I feel I need it when I'm riding him just to keep him going. One thing that is kind of a trigger for me is laziness. And of course I'm trying not to get triggered by anything. But if there's one thing that horses will do that will actually trigger me, is if they don't move. If they're just lazy and heavy, it's that's a trigger. So I need him to move. You know? I'm not gonna let him get away with being way too lazy. So I'm gonna try to keep him going. Good. Focus. Focus. Search down. Bra. I'm gonna do one more circle. Bra. I feel like it might be a little bit more difficult for him on the right side to get a good bend. Bra. Okay, now we're gonna try a leg yield. Leg yield to the left. So I'm really trying to prepare him. This way now. Bra. Bra. Ah, ah. Bra. It's a little bit more like a side pass, but bra. We're gonna repeat that one. I felt he did not do it as good. But I think on the right he's just, in general, it's a little bit more challenging for him on the right side. Yes, bra. Flink da. Yes. He's a giant man-child. Yes, you are. Where are you going now? Yeah, I know. You're getting good at backing up as well. But that is later. We're going to do one more time. And also I'm riding with my arms out like this just because it's more practical with the long rope. And this is just for the stretching. So now we're gonna try to bend. Good boy. Bra, and continue to move. Bra, bra. And of course I would like him to keep the bend. Good, bra, on loose reins as well. We're gonna try to do a leg yield down here. Turn. Bra. Good. And you can tell it's just not the same rhythm at all. No, we're gonna have to do it again. He's just not finding the rhythm as well. One more time on this side. Bra. Better. Yes. That was better. You're cute. Yeah. You're gonna get your treats. Yes, you are. Yeah. Good boy. I felt that one was a lot better. I felt he really tried. He really just went all in to do a good job. That was a good job. And I don't like to do stuff again and again and again and again. If I feel like I have a moment like this, where he did a good job and everything kind of improved, we're not going to practice that again today. It's enough for one day. So now we're going to continue and see if we can do a little bit in the trot. We haven't been trotting super much, just been working on him being able to do the stretch. But at some point this week, I want to start also to see if we can bend on circles in the trot as well, a little bit. So I think we're just going to take the diagonal. And good. Stretch, buddy. Good boy. Good boy. And don't walk slower. Good. Good boy. Come on. Bra. It's really good. Bra. Stretch and walk. If he's able to keep the stretch, the complete diagonal, I'm going to give him a treat as well. Good boy. Really good. Ja, bra. You're flink. Okay, I'm going to give him treats. Yes. Good boy. And sometimes what's important is not just to reward the right exercise, but also their state of mind, you know? If they are really trying, but they may not do something perfect, I would still reward just because of they were trying really hard. So I think that is important to recognize how much they are actually making an effort to do what you ask, you know? I think that's important as well. Now the trot. Also because the muscles he's activating now in his back, like I can feel them activating when I'm sitting here and he's stretching down. That is new muscles for him. He's not accustomed to use those muscles that much, which is also something I have to think about when I'm now going to start to trot. Because he will feel those muscles, you know? So if you ask him for too long, he's going to stop. He's not going to want to do it anymore. And right now, it's very easy to get him to stretch and activate. So that is really good. So I want to keep that. But we also want to build and get him stronger. So there's a fine balance there. So we'll just see. I want to reward a good moment in the trot where he's got a little bit of energy, but is also stretching. So we're just going to pass the gate because he gets a little bit distracted. Yeah, it's still my dog. The same again. Okay, we're going to trot. And also the trot is really heavy and bumpy. Okay. Stretch. Bra. Okay, so we did. He made it pretty much all the way. So I'm going to reward that. Good. So yeah, maybe half a round is our current limit for when he will get his treats. Good boy. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. So today I want to see if we can build. This is kind of where we are at, or where we finished off the last session. We would do like one long side and maybe one short side, and then he would get his treats. And then we're going to see if we can build a little bit. I want to see if we can start thinking about a circle with a bend. Good. And here I'm feeling him distracted. There's always this corner with. Good. So I'm going to see if we can trot and bend. Good. Good. A little difficult to keep him going. Ah. Come on, you can do it. So you can tell it's not much before he's kind of thinking that it's too challenging and too hard. Really nice. Now he's... Come on. Let's go. I'm asking him for a little bit of a bigger circle. Good. And keep going, keep going. Stretch, stretch. Gabra. Focus, no. No. So now I would like to see if we can do a circle and then go back to the stretch without any drama. Now I just need to reward him for stretching. Bra. And following the... Bra. Okay. Good. Yes. But this is typical. This is what I'm talking about. Like him trying to go a different way. Being a little bit stubborn. We're trying to work through that. That was the first time we tried to actually trot the circle. And you know, it sounds like such an easy thing, right? Just be able to trot the circle. Any horse should do that. But you have to look at where the horse is at. Their level and how easy it is for them to follow direction. Where their physique is at. And kind of what they think is hard and challenging. Because he is such a big horse. Trotting and bending and stretching might be a little bit more difficult for him. He needs some time to figure this out. I'm just gonna let him walk. Go. Okay. I can't say the word bra because then he's gonna stop. Yeah. A little bit extra motivation. Okay, buddy. We're gonna trot one long side and stretch. And then we're gonna trot one circle and stretch and bend. And then you're gonna get treats. Yes! If you do it without stopping and doing stupid things. Okay? That's the game. No stupid things. No stopping. You gotta actually try to do the whole thing. Okay, you ready? Yes. Okay, we're trotting. Come in. Yes. We're trotting straight. No, that is not straight. Nah. And you know, this is good. Come on. You gotta do this. You are in school. Okay, buddy? Yeah, you are in school. You gotta actually learn something. And you have to participate in the lesson. Now we're gonna bend a little. Good boy. And not stop, not stop, not stop, not stop. Good. Bend. And don't let that shoulder come in. Not too bad. Not too bad. No. Wait for me to tell you. You gotta wait for me to tell you to stop. You can't just stop in the middle of a thing. No. You can't just stop in the middle of it. And I have to use quite a lot of energy just to do this. Yes. So I think if we can like do that, I really want to try on this side of the arena and so just see if it will get better. If we can do this on both ways, it's going to be okay for today. Now we're going to turn back here. Good. No, you got to walk. Got to move. You know? was just explaining that it's kind of annoying with horses that are extremely lazy and not wanting to move. I don't like it. I don't like heavy, lazy horses, buddy. I know you are quite huge, but okay, I want to try to trot down this long side and do the circle on the opposite side. Okay. Okay, good stretch. No, don't stop, please. I beg you. We're gonna trot. Yes, yes, nay. You gotta trot more than one step. Come on. It's not that hard. One circle. Keep going. And bend. Good. Good. Good, good, good. Woo! Good. And wait for me to stop. Wait for me. Wait for me. Stretch. Stretch. Stretch a little bit more. A little bit more. Stretch. Stretch, please. Straight. No! Did such a good circle and then it's just coming with it. I want to reward in a good stretch. Come on. Ooh, now it's going fast. Good. Good stretch. Stretch. Bra. Okay. Good boy. He did stretch a little bit after a circle, but I felt it wasn't activating. It wasn't enough for the back to actually get affected. So I will call it kind of like a fake stretch, a little bit of a stretch. But I wanted him to really stretch. Took some time, all the way here. Good. Okay, because it kind of got a little bit better on this side, I'm going to change. And we're going to do the right side. And just simple things like this needs to get easier. But step by step, he's going to get there. Like just walking and stretching, something we had to work on. Doing the circles and bending, it was something we had to work on. The leg yield, we had to work on that. And now it's the trot. And we're just going to work on this step by step. So now I'm just going to reward him in a walk when he's stretching. Bra! Good. I like to call it like a little extra motivation before the trot. Yeah. So now we're going to trot first and see if he will maintain the stretch. And I will reward. And then we're going to try the circle and see how that will go. And obviously, it will be nice if I didn't have to work so hard to get him to trot or stay in the trot. But he will learn. As long as I don't ask for too many things each time, and he understands the assignment, and he knows that he will get a break. Like when I ask him to trot, it's not forever. It's not going to be trotting and trotting and trotting and trotting and trotting and trotting and trotting, trot, trot, trot. It's only a little bit. That is also going to help him be more willing. You know, they need to understand. Good. Okay, let's try. Pretty good. Nice. Good boy. And then you got to stay in the trot. Wait for my cue. Good boy. Wait for my cue. We're just going to get a good stretch again. Bra. Oh, bra. There you go. Good boy. There you go. And hopefully, because I did work through some stuff on the left side in the trot, maybe, just maybe, it will be a little bit easier on the right side. Okay? Yeah? Maybe, if we are lucky. It's all depending on you, my friend. Yes. Okay. Okay, buddy. Let's see. We're going to start to walk. Good boy. Good boy. We're going to do a little stretch. We're not going to walk with our head up anymore, are we? We're going to stretch down. Good boy. Good. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Really good. Now. Nice. Really nice transition. Really nice stretch going. Just gotta keep the energy. Let's try a circle. Really nice so far. Really good. He kept the bend. He lost a little bit of the stretch, but that's fine. Bra! Good boy. Really good. A lot better on this side now. And that was in walk. This side was a little bit more difficult. Here, this. On this side, here is the treat. Yeah. Okay. Okay, good, good. So what I'm thinking, I want to leave it. I don't want to ask him for more today in the trot. He did a really good transition, like, or what's the word? He did a lot better now on this side than on the left side. So I think he kind of understood. It's just a little bit, just a circle and then stop. So now what I want to do is just walk and stretch, and then we're going to back up. If he will do a nice back up, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm just going to do it on this side so you can see it a little bit better. Yeah. Really good stretch. Yeah, you blink. So again, the goal is not just for him to do all the exercises. I want him to feel motivated, and I want him to feel good about doing all the things. So that's why I don't want to push him too much each session. You got to stretch. Stretch. Can you do a better stretch? A little bit more. Focus. Ah. Oh. Okay, so then I'm gonna go into my backup position. Hardly using the rein now. Ah. It wasn't too straight, but it was really light and beautiful. Good boy. Good boy. So I'm just gonna jump off. And that's it for today. Really good, I'm happy with him.